All right, so welcome back to this week's episode of Hanging with Leo and Mark. Week number two. I'm not surprised we're back, but we are. We got a total of 40 views on our last video.
40?
No big deal for a first time YouTube.
No subscribers yet.
Oh, we got two.
We got two. The two of us.
Yeah. And of the 40 views, we were probably like 38 of them.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. But we won't talk about that.
All right, so this week we're going to talk about tips for college / what we wish we knew going into college. Right?
Yeah, that's a big one.
You go
Especially
to
now that we're in
Michigan.
college, I feel like we have a good knowledge of this.
You go to Michigan State. I go to Wisconsin.
Yeah, two Big Ten schools, so it's a lot of people. So
Yeah.
our perspective is kind of from like a big campus type thing, but we'll hit a little bit of everything.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. First one is roommate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So roommate is a huge, huge thing throughout your time in college. I'd say, like your freshman year roommate shouldn't. Well, I'll say it shouldn't make or break your college life. Like you don't have to be best friends with your roommate, but it definitely helps if you are. Like I didn't necessarily get along with my roommate too much my freshman year, but it happens, whatever. And like I met people in my hall because of it, and I'm living with them now. And like I loved living with my roommates this year. Um,
You had a random roommate, and can you hear me?
yeah, yeah.
You had a random roommate, right? And
Yeah.
I had like a roommate that you knew going in.
Yeah, the random process like can be good or bad, and like mine was absolutely terrible, but I definitely would like. It's hard because I'm from North Carolina, so I didn't know anybody going to Michigan State, so I kind of had no other choice. But I don't know. It wasn't kind of made me who I am now. I guess it led me to meet new people, and I don't regret anything I've done so far.
Yeah, my roommate wasn't terrible. It was good. We got along, but like we didn't hang out that much, so it was fine. I mean, yeah, you.
I
What's
would
that?
say, like be like if you can communicate with your roommate like with certain things though,
Yeah,
especially if you want to have like a girl or a guy, depending on how you like things. You I don't know. You just want to plan that out. You don't want to get on their nerves, and that's kind of the last thing you want to do, especially if you have to live with them for a year.
right. And then also we were gonna talk about like for the next year. So like if you're gonna get an apartment next year, choose your roommates wisely, and then also like if possible, try to get your own room.
Yes, 100%.
If you can afford it, because having your own room, being able to like shut the door and be able to be alone in college is like a huge plus.
Yeah, because you're around people 24/7.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a roommate this year again, didn't you, in your apartment?
Yeah, and so I could never be alone.
Yeah, so did I. So we were both in the same boat, and I think we both kind of like I love my roommate, but to some extent, like I need my alone time, like you were saying.
Yeah, my roommate was like, he would play video games and he would just like scream like all night, and it was just aggravating and he was in the room all the time, so I could never get alone time, which is tough.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
sorry now.
but once you like your roommates though, like hopefully you'll get to the point where like they're your niche, like you're there, like kind of your go-to people.
Yeah.
Because like we talked about freshman year, like your roommate doesn't have to be your best friend, and sometimes like it's not always the best thing to go in with your best friend, just
Yeah.
because Like it could ruin a friendship because you don't know how your best friend lives, and like they could do stuff that aggravates you,
Hmm.
um, or you can do stuff that aggravates them too. So, but like by your sophomore, like junior, senior year, especially, like that's kind of different. Like you see those people every single day. Like you should know how they are, and if you're compatible with them, and especially if you're really close in college, then that you should be fine and living together.
Yep. That's
That's
pretty much
it.
everything for roommate, right?
What do you say?
That's pretty much everything for roommate. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I can't really either. That's about it.
All right. So the next one was morning classes. So I guess we can talk about like the scheduling here.
Yeah,
Um, like one of the first things you'll learn in college is that like just because you can wake up at 6 a.m. for high school or 7 a.m. for high school doesn't mean you can do that in college. It's different.
yeah, completely different.
So like when you go in to make your schedule, just keep that in mind that it's not the same.
Yeah, if you can
Um,
try and avoid early morning labs
the
because
labs,
as much as like you might not think so, labs are can make or break your grade. And if you don't show up to those early morning labs, which I guarantee you will miss, like
mm,
one or two, hopefully just one or two, like they'll
yeah,
screw your grade over. Especially as college, like most of the time you don't know your grades until like the last couple weeks of the semester. So you could
right.
be doing the entire time, and you could be either acing or failing it or whatever, and have no idea.
And like, I mean, that goes for any class, like lectures. If it's a really hard class and the lecture's at 7:45 and you're never going, then when the test comes around, you're not gonna know what's going on. But
Yeah.
like, if you scheduled the class for 12 p.m., maybe you're going every time.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to keep in mind with the scheduling, and also with the scheduling when you go in to actually make the schedule, like they're not going to help you that much making the schedule. Like you have to do some research ahead of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, and yeah, um, what else? I was gonna say, you try to plan your schedule on like being able to do other stuff. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Don't have. I would try and avoid late classes. So like anything after 6, 5 o'clock, I wouldn't do because that's like from 5 to 10 o'clock is hangout time with your other people, other friends.
Right.
And then also like if you want to do clubs and extracurricular stuff, like that's that time too.
Hmm.
Um, and then also plan your day around being able to like eat too.
Yeah.
Don't go 8 to 3 o'clock straight. Like
Yeah. You
that's
want to
just
have a
not
lunch
worth it.
break.
Yeah,
Um, I was also gonna say like in Madison, everyone goes out on Thursday night. I don't
yeah.
know why that's how it is for some schools. Some schools it's Friday night, but at Madison it's Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had a freshman year, I had an early class Friday morning. So
Same
like
here.
it was always brutal to go. And then I also knew people that like you just said, like they scheduled a Thursday class at like 6 p.m. or something. So like they get there late and everyone's gone already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because like our go out day is Thursday as well. So like if I can, I always try. If I have to have a Friday class, like I schedule it later. So like it's an 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. or something instead
Mhm.
of a 9 or 8. Like I did that.
Yeah.
I made that mistake soft or freshman year, second semester. Um, I had a chemistry
Mhm.
recitation at 8 a.m. on Fridays across campus. Luckily, at the time, I was talking to someone who lived right across the way, and like I would just stay the night there and go over. But it was a pain, and it's not worth it,
It's not
especially
worth it.
going like hungovers.
Yeah. Like the chances are you're gonna get hungover. You're probably gonna drink in college and you're gonna get hungover. And
Yeah,
I don't know, it's just something you have to be ready for.
yeah, for sure.
Um, and I mean that goes for like with the scheduling. I mean, I guess we can talk about that later. But I was gonna say like if you have a test the next day or in the next couple days, maybe it's smart not to go out that
Yeah,
day.
be smart. You've got
You gotta
9
fit.
months there on campus.
Yeah, I I mean, I guess we're gonna talk about that in a little bit, but like the FOMO, which is like the missing out thing, like
Yeah,
yeah, it's
there's plenty of opportunities in college.
yeah.
Plenty of them. All
All
right,
right.
we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, I guess this one's kind of connected.
Yeah, so this next one is something that I do a lot. It's called with like when you're looking at your schedule and looking at your classes. If there's a professor's name, look him up on Rate My Professor. Like Michigan State has something called MSU grades, and it shows you like what the person's average GPA and their mean GPA is for all their students, and like that gives you a good basis of like how much you got to work in the class. Which college is college. Like classes are going to be harder overall, but you don't want to give if you're thinking about taking like a 17 credit semester, you don't want to take a bunch of classes that have like 2.5 GPAs and just get a bad GPA when like there's another teacher in the same course that's teaching it as an average of 3.5 and the other one has an average of a 3. Like you'd rather take this professor if you can. And then like especially because we go to big colleges, so we have a lot more options class wise. I know, so like there's a lot of the same courses. Some of the smaller schools, it's not the same case, but I'm sure they have Rate My Professor as well.
Um, yeah, the way I would do it, I think I don't know if remember if it's called rate your professor, but like you could look up the professor's name, and then it would be like it would give like a 5-star value on that professor,
Hmm.
and then like under it, it would have like the students that took the class, like a review about the professor and
Yeah,
like the class that they took, and then yeah, and I also had the on like a separate website would have the like the median grades. And so like you got to figure out like what other like the freebie classes, like the ones that are really easy to get an A in, and then like the hard ones are the ones where like only 25% of people get an A.
yeah.
So you don't want to take like all those classes at the same time, like you said. Like you want to mix them up so that you have the easiest semester possible.
Hmm. And do you have like school required classes, like requirements?
Do I have what?
Do you have like school required classes? So like I have something called like ISS and IH classes. So
Oh,
like just a generalized history or generalized like social.
I mean I had to take like a communications class.
Hmm.
Um,
It's sometimes kind of connected to your major, but it's pretty much a way like there's school recs classes that like personally I think it's just so school can make money.
yeah,
Uh,
it is.
yeah, but those classes look at rate your professor please because I know like there's some classes in your major that you have no choice. But like if it's a school required class and like you're taking it because you absolutely have to from the school, you should be getting a like a 4 in the class or a 3.5 or a 3. Like
Yeah,
not 2.0 2.5 and suffering through a class that makes you read like 2 books every single two or every single week or something and
yeah,
test every other week. It's just not fair. So that's the way I look at it because college like the college is going to be taking a lot of your money and you want to spend it wisely.
right.
Maybe that's something else we can talk about is like the money at the end.
Yeah, that's true. Um, all right, the next one we had was making friends. This was like a pretty big one, and your first opportunity to make your friend is obviously like either your roommate that you have. You should probably get in contact with your roommate like ahead of time.
Hmm.
I know like a lot of people like to meet up with their roommate before their first like day moving in. Um, and also the day that you move in your dorm, keep your door open.
Yes.
Um, and talk to everyone around you because like the chances are that the people that are on your floor the first your freshman year, they could be like your best friends throughout the entire college. Um, right? I mean,
Yeah. Like so I wasn't super close with my roommate, but the guy that lived right next to me is my roommate now that I shared a bedroom with this past
mm,
year. Um, and then on the other side is that pretty much a lot of guys in my hall like I still talk to today, and I've been off campus for a year and a half. Like I love those guys. Like you said, they're some of my closest friends,
yeah,
along with like some of the other clubs I joined too. But
mm,
yeah, definitely. And also be proactive. Like I met one of my like closest girlfriends. at Michigan State by just walking up and down the hall, or like walking down the hall. And
Mhm.
she had her door open, and I saw her. I was like, "Hey, I just want to introduce myself. Like, don't be afraid, because everyone's just as nervous as you are going to college."
Everyone just wants to make friends too. So I would talk to everyone on your floor.
Yeah,
Um, and then the other way to make friends is in your classes. And like if you can find like people in your class to study with, like study buddies, and then also people in your major that you can work with, that's gonna be make your life a lot easier. That's one of the mistakes I made when my freshman year, is I didn't really talk to anyone in class, so I had to do everything by myself.
hmm yeah. That's like I joined a kinesiology frat as like a professional type deal, so it's not the same as your social frat.
Mm,
Um, but like I have 100 brothers that
mm,
tell me like about the class and like how to prepare, and they give me materials and they help me study. And I'll also have a ton of them that are in my class as well, taking it with me,
mm,
which really has helped me through my college time so far. Getting good grades, and then also being able to meet people and have fun.
right. Yeah, and it kind of leads to the to my other point, which was like, um, I guess we can make that another point, but joining a frat or a sorority,
Yeah.
um, those can be a really great way to meet friends. There's like a
There's a bad stigma on that,
yeah,
but like it's about the way that you approach it. Don't be dumb. Like don't do the bad stuff that for the reason why there's a bad stigma to it. But there's
yeah,
a lot of good in joining a frat or sorority.
yeah. A lot of good can come from it. Some of your best friends can come from there too.
Yeah.
Um, I did join a frat, and I did get hazed. Like you probably will get hazed if you join a frat. Sorority, most likely not, but there are schools around the country that do.
Yes. I know.
Um,
I know some people.
I don't know. I would try to do some research beforehand about like that kind of stuff because
Yeah.
I mean I didn't have to do anything like bad, but like I mean there are those like horror stories where kids die from those type of things. So
Yeah. Do your research on
um
the frat too, or like just a general like what's their kind of reputation.
right. And also like, keep in mind that like you don't have to join a frat to have fun in college.
Yeah.
That's not true. There are other ways to go to parties and there are other ways to do fun stuff. So
hmm
that if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. 'Cause
Yeah.
it can also be expensive.
Yeah. For sure.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah. We'll move on to the next one.
Mhm.
Find an exercise routine.
Yeah.
That's a huge one because college, your assertiveness to do stuff from here goes here to down there
Mhm.
because you're staying up all night, being so you're super tired. You don't have to do anything technically. You have no one pushing you. You don't have your parents telling you what to do.
Mhm.
And like, sometimes my biggest thing my freshman year was that I thought I didn't have enough time to work out. I was like, oh, if I go work out at night, then I can't be hanging out with like my friends, which is a kind of a dumb way to look at it, but it kind of worked out now. Um, but like that's the reason why I didn't really work out
Mhm.
freshman's first semester, and then I've gotten back into it. But that being said, I found someone that kept me accountable. That like if he was going, I was like, shit, I'm gonna go too. And if I'm going, he's gonna go too. And every single day, like we text each other. We're like, okay, you want to go? Like, yeah, time, date, and then we're there and we're being able to talk to each other. And that's another friend you can have right there.
Yeah. Like the joke about freshman year is that is the freshman 15. Like when you go when you for your first year of college, like you'll gain 15 pounds. But like that doesn't necessarily have to, like it doesn't have that doesn't have to happen if you are disciplined. Like you
Yeah.
should find time to go and exercise. Like me and Mark, our exercise is like lifting weights, but like that doesn't have to be what you do. Like it can also be like going to play pickup basketball or going on a run or something. Like in your you can even do exercise in your dorm room.
Yeah.
Body weight exercises. It just has to be something.
Mm. That is like at least another thing. Like play intramural sports because the
Yeah.
team kind of cohesiveness you're gonna miss it, especially if you're an athlete in high school. Um, just being able
Mm-hmm.
to play with people one more time is as cheesy as it sounds is very satisfying. And
Yeah.
like I said, like I joined the IM football and soccer team in the fall of my freshman semester, and I only knew two guys that were on my hall on both teams, but I met a bunch of other people through that as well. Um,
Yeah.
so it's a good way to make connections as well and stay healthy.
Yeah. And I don't know. A lot of people don't agree with me, but I really feel like when you're exercising and you're drinking water and you're being healthy, like it makes the school part way easier
Yeah.
because you're just sharp. I don't know.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, because college is mentally draining. So if you're physically healthy, that's one less thing you have to worry about.
Yep.
It just keeps you, like you said, it keeps you sharp.
Hmm. All right. The next thing was finding a car if you can. That
Yeah.
goes with like the making friends part. Um, if you can't, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but like it is very useful. Um, like for example, there was no like grocery store near me. Like that I had to take like a bus, but if I had a friend with a car, I would have been able to do stuff a lot easier, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. The with the car, I that was kind of something that like I really liked my freshman semester because we're both at like huge schools that
Mm.
like my school is like if I want to walk from one side to the other, it's probably like a 2 mile walk, 3 mile walk.
Yep.
So it's first of all, it's nice having a person be able to drive you to class, and then groceries is a big thing, especially when you're in a dorm. Like you're not always going to want to eat the cafeteria food, so having snacks in your dorm room is huge, and you
Hmm.
need someone to drive you there. Because most of the time, like grocery stores are going to be cheaper than convenience stores for buying snacks. Um, that goes along with buying other stuff too that we'll
Yeah.
talk about later. But yeah, and a car is nice too, just because it's not a huge thing. Because like I definitely wouldn't bring a car my freshman year because it's hard to find a place to keep it, and like
Hmm.
I don't know about Madison, but Michigan State gives out a shit ton of like um, parking tickets. So like that's a lot of money
Yeah.
right there, and we're also broke college kids, so we don't need to be spending more money on stuff that we don't need to be.
Yeah. It's, it's expensive to bring your car to college.
Mhm. And you'd be
In
surprised.
Madison, there's not that many places to park. Like, so
Sorry, you're breaking up. I can't really. I didn't hear what you were saying. Oh, there you go. You're back now. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
I was just saying it's super expensive to like take your car to college. So like if you can find someone that has one, it's way better.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. You want to do the next one?
Yep. This is something that I brought up that I think is a huge no-no. Is like don't go home every weekend or every other weekend. Like as weird as it sounds, like my like kind of pretty good friend, she went home like every other weekend and was just like a homebody kind of person. And she started missing stuff like that we were doing together at school, and then we just weren't as close with her this next year. Um,
Yeah.
so I would say that's a big.
Yeah. The weekend is when like a lot of people go out and like I feel like you don't want to put like all your marbles into school. Like you want to be able to go out and be social and have friends because like that's part of the college experience too.
Yeah,
Um, like learning how to talk to people, like learning how to do different stuff, and also um, like college is your transition to your adult life. So like if you can't survive being in college, then you're not gonna be able to survive being an adult. Like you need to learn how to be by yourself.
yeah, for sure.
Um, but we're not saying like don't go home at all, but don't go home every weekend.
Yeah, because like your parents are gonna come visit you hopefully, and
Yeah.
like you'll be there's plenty of breaks. There's fall break, there's Thanksgiving break, and then there's Christmas break, spring break. Like you'll
Hmm.
see your family or your friends back home like 1 to 2 months, every 1 to 2 months. Um, and I understand a big part about going home is also seeing your friends, but the fun thing to do would be have your friends up like to school with you because
Yeah,
you're the one that has all the freedom. Like you have no parents telling you when or where you have to be or when you have to be home.
right.
So it would be a fun experience for them as well.
Yeah. All right, the next thing was I guess we put drinking. We already kind of talked about this. This is more about being smart about when you drink. Like don't drink if you have a test coming up.
Yeah,
Um, don't drink every day either. That kind of has a correlation with like the being healthy and exercising. Like I know people that drink every single day. Um, and like they never do well in the end. It's never a good idea.
I
Um,
agree.
and also when you get to college on your first like couple days, like everyone's gonna want to drink, and if that's not something that you want to do, then you don't have to.
Yeah, there is someone for everyone in
Yeah,
college, no matter what you think. Like if
yep,
you don't want, if you're not a big drinker, if you're not big, like especially like if you're not big into like drugs and stuff like that, don't feel peer pressure to do any of that
yeah,
kind of stuff. Um,
yeah. You don't have to do any of that stuff.
yeah,
You
it,
can you can still go to parties and not drink. Like
mm,
that's not weird. Um,
another thing I would say is don't take an open drink from someone.
yeah,
Like it doesn't, even if you somewhat know them, like out of a keg is fine. Like a beers or I guess like a big bottle of
mhm,
whatever someone's
yeah,
drinking is or people are drinking, multiple people. It's fine, but you don't want it from a specific person because you just never know what the person's done to that drink or what can happen. And it could be bad.
right. I got a. You also have to be careful with drinking like out in public. I got a drinking ticket my freshman year for being too drunk at a football game. It was
Oh,
like
we got
it's
to be
so
able to show the picture at the end of this.
yeah. Oh my goodness, it's so stupid. You just have to be smart about when you're doing it, and I don't know. That was just a dumb day for me, but like the cops, or I guess in Madison, like the police make most of their money by giving those tickets out. So
Yeah.
like that's what they want to catch you doing that kind of stuff. So you have to be careful, and then also if you're gonna have alcohol in the dorms, just do it behind a closed door. Um, because like the police in Madison were also patrolling the hallways like at night to make sure no one was doing anything,
Oh
and
shit.
they would
Really?
yeah they would give tickets out, and also you're probably gonna have a like an RA
Yeah.
your first year, and if they're not cool, then they'll give out like tickets or something or report you. So you have to be careful with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then also,
Being said, I would become friends with your RA if you can.
yeah, that was huge. My RA didn't care about that kind of stuff,
Yeah, neither do mine.
um, but I know those that did.
Hmm.
And then also, I was gonna talk about like fake IDs. Um, Fake IDs are pretty common in college. I mean, almost everyone has one.
Yeah.
Um, you have to be careful with that too. If you get caught with one of those, that's a pretty hefty ticket.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's like you're impersonating someone person.
Yeah.
Like, that's a federal.
Um,
I'm not. I don't really know that stuff, but I know it's bad.
yeah, you have to be careful with that kind of stuff. They can be expensive to buy. They're cheaper if you buy them in a group though.
Yeah.
So if you buy them in bulk, so maybe a couple of your friends in the dorm the first year you can buy it with. Um, I use them to go to like bars and stuff, but you have to be careful with that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if the bouncer kicks you out. Like it happens to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. If getting denied is one thing, but getting it taken is another thing, and then being arrested is another thing. So don't test your limits.
Yeah,
Like if
if
they say no, like
just take it and go. Like don't argue.
especially if they give it back to you, walk
Just
away.
take it and go. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Hmm.
It's not worth it having to buy a new one. It's not worth them calling the police. So
Yeah. So back to drinking. Um, find a group of people that you go out with that you trust. At least one person that you trust. Like we all have wild friends that we go out with.
Mm,
Um, but if you don't have someone that's like somewhat responsible, then bad stuff can happen. Um,
yeah, you have to be careful. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've blacked out before my freshman year, and like the only reason I made it home was because I had good friends.
yeah, same here.
So you have
It's
to,
not, it's not something I really like. I don't like blacking out at all. So
yeah, I don't know. It's something that you learn. I don't
mm,
know. All right, next thing. Okay, studying habits. Um, College is not like high school. In high school, I did everything like last minute, and I could do it the day of. But college, like, you want to be doing your homework and you want to be studying like a little bit every day.
yeah,
Um, because like, the tests can be very overwhelming sometimes, and tests in college are usually worth like a really large amount of your grade.
yeah. It's an on average like 60 to 80% of your grade,
Yeah. So
and
you want to be,
there's
yeah,
only like 4 or 5 of them too.
yeah. You want to be doing your homework like a little bit every day. Um, and you also want to find like a good spot to study. Sometimes like studying in your room will be convenient, but are, are you really gonna get that much work done in there?
Yeah, you have
Like,
so many distractions like TVs, your roommates, friends,
yeah.
and
Um,
you just don't want to study somewhere where you sleep
if
too.
you don't know where to study, then go to your library. Like that's the one place that it's gonna be quiet and you can get work done.
Hmm.
Um, I would also suggest like doing some homework in the morning. That's something I always did my homework at night for some reason. And like sometimes you want the night to relax. So you need to like get your homework done throughout the day so that you have your night to yourself and you can go to bed early.
Yeah, definitely. That's another thing I'd say too is like if your homework opens up early, try and get it done as early as possible because like I know this quarantine's a little different, but I like everything opened up for us straight away and I sat there and just grinded on my homework for 3 or 4 days straight and just finished all of it. And then it's a good study habit to be able to go back and like look at that right before like when you're studying for exams, you already have that finished. And then also like if you have a homework assignment due like a certain night, but like that night your friends want to go out too, like it's already done. Like you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Um, and don't wait last minute to do your homework either,
It,
because
it's happened it's happened to me too many times where like my friends were going out and I didn't have something done. Like you want to get your stuff done.
yeah,
That's when you're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff is when your work isn't done.
yeah, because
So
you're in school for school, not for partying.
yeah,
As
like
cheesy as
the
it sounds.
yeah, like you need to get your work done. And if you do bad on the test, like you're kind of like playing catch up the rest of the time, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't want that to happen.
And if that does happen, talk to your professor. Like I've done that.
Yeah,
And like I'm just like an average college kid. Like I'm not the smartest. But I don't go out and party all the time either. But like I have my priorities straight. And like I want to do well in school and I want to like if I do bad on tests, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do well in the class. So I'm gonna go talk to the professor, ask questions. It's a
hmm,
big thing. And asking questions too is a good way to like I don't know, interact with other people in your class or your professor too, and they get to know you. And then if you ask for like extra credit because you're that 1 point away from a 4.0 or a 3.5 or something, that's the way Michigan State does their grade scales. Then your teacher's gonna be like, okay, like they asked questions in class, they were engaged, they were always there. I'm gonna give the point to them.
yeah. A lot of my classes in college were like organized so that like you have the big lecture that everyone goes to, and then you'll have like a discussion, like a smaller group classroom. I didn't know this going into college, so I figured I'd explain this. And then there'll be like a smaller group with your TA, and the TA is also someone that you want to develop a relationship with because like they're going to be the ones grading a lot of the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
The professors don't grade; it's the TAs that grade. So you want to like, and they'll have like office hours and stuff, and you're going to want to go to their office hours if you don't understand something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And yeah, like you said, like develop a relationship, and if they know who you are and they know you've been coming, then maybe they'll bump you up
Yeah.
or help you
That
out with something.
that being said, don't like if it's a class that you're taking for your major, don't memorize it because eventually you're gonna need it again. Like learn it if you can. If you have the time, learn it. If it's last second, memorize it because and plus in college there's a crap ton of information on every single exam because what we were talking about earlier, um, there's so much of the material is just exam
Yeah.
of the class is just exam and like normally you have like I know my nutrition class I took last semester had like 1,200 slides on it on one exam,
Yeah.
which is freaking ridiculous.
It's
Like nobody's
insane.
gonna know all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like if you like know generalized topics, kind of like familiarize yourself with stuff, like you'll be fine.
Right.
And that goes along with making friends as well. And that
Hmm.
can help you study and then talking about it helps you realize other things. Because talking through things helps me like realize or like learn things, I guess.
Yeah.
So everyone has a different way to learn, and you just need to figure that out sooner rather than later.
Yeah. All right. The next thing, washer dryer.
Yeah,
Uh, uh,
that doesn't have to be too long.
what's
Uh,
that?
that doesn't have to be too long of a segment. I was just gonna say that don't leave your stuff in the washer and dryer um, any longer than like 5 minutes after the timer goes off
Y-
because
Yeah.
people are gonna steal your shit. People are gonna throw your stuff on the ground, and the floors in wash and dry rooms are disgusting. So you don't want to have to deal with that. Um, and also, it's just aggravating. Like, there's only like a couple washer and dryers per hall, so
Hmm.
you don't want to be like holding up for everyone else. Like, I've sat there and waited for people to take their stuff out of their laundry for hours, and it's just annoying.
Yeah. You're gonna want to set a timer when you do put your laundry in so that you can go get it at the right time. And also like if you're planning on doing your laundry on a Saturday or a Sunday, like in the morning, just keep in mind that everyone else is too. So
Yeah,
you have to find like a time that works for you. I realize that doing it during like the weekday is better because no one's ever using it. Um,
yeah, yeah,
you know, that's pretty much it. I would get uh I would get pods for the laundry. You don't really want like the liquid detergent.
yeah.
None of that stuff really works. Um,
And as like, don't mix your colors because those are the cheapest washers and dryers possible. So they're gonna ruin your clothes if you
yeah,
do that.
at at the very least, separate the whites out
Yeah,
if you're not going to do anything else.
yeah. Or if you don't do anything at all, put it on cold because warm blends the colors. Cold just washes it kind of normally.
Right. All right.
So next we got join a club. We kind of talked about this a little bit. That's kind of goes along with joining a frat or sorority.
Yeah.
Like what club are you? You know, I asked you. You're in a club, right?
Yeah, I joined two clubs. I didn't join them for very long to be honest. I joined them last semester,
Mm,
but one of them was like a wishmaker club, which is like it donates or it raises money for um like kids with cancer.
yeah,
And then the other one was Badger Loop, which was like an engineering club. Um so I joined the first one more to like make friends, but the second one I joined more for like my resume.
yeah.
Um and I guess we're going to talk about that in a little bit. The resume building. That was
Yeah,
the next
next
one.
thing on the list.
Um, I joined that to get like yeah to some for something on my resume that has something to do with engineering, and also like it has like in that club I learned more skills that I needed, like programming skills that I needed for engineering.
Yeah,
Um, I guess you didn't really join a club, but you joined the. I mean, you were a manager of the basketball team, so I mean,
yeah, it takes up a lot of time.
I
Um,
would all. I mean that goes with the resume building if you want to talk about that.
yeah, just because I want to be in the athletic field, whether that's like occupational therapy or like as a coach or something. Um, and honestly, joining like an athletic program of some kind is a great way to do it because you get recommendations because coaches know coaches and coaches know people that are very important. So
Yeah, it's all connected. You can't just show up one day.
Yeah. And
Um,
if you show someone that you want to be in something, they're gonna find a spot for you, especially in college, because like we talked about earlier, there's not a lot of initiative for most college students. So if you show enough in an initiative for something, then like people are gonna like that. That's a good quality to have.
mhm.
Because like I came from North Carolina to Michigan State, knew absolutely nobody, had no recommendations for the basketball program, and then I tried out, like just had a really positive attitude throughout the entire process, and like it helped too that like I'm pretty decent basketball player, probably better than Leo, but another subject.
I wouldn't say that. Uh,
But yeah, that helps as well. But like find something that you like to do and do that because I don't know, it's fun. And that's what college is supposed to be. It's like as much as it's stressful with classes and being on your own, there's plenty of room for having fun as well. And you need to join clubs or join a frat, join a sorority. And along with it, joining a club helps with your, like you talked about earlier, your resume. So like it's a hitting two birds with one stone.
yeah, you're gonna want to start building your resume pretty early because one of the first things you're gonna want to do is find an internship in between, and like during one of the summers of your years. And like one of the main reasons why I didn't get an internship this year was because I had nothing on my resume. So like I wish I had like started building that earlier,
Yeah.
started like getting more experience of something, like anything, like the club. I mean, the club is like the easiest one because people clubs like need bodies, like they need people to join and they need people to help. And there's no like application; you can usually just join.
Yeah.
Um, which kind of leads into our next point was like get a job if you can.
Yeah. Money is money, especially right now with all that's going on. Like you're gonna run out of money quick in college. Like you're gonna be like, oh, I have this amount of money and like it'll last me this long, but I promise you it will not. Like things like prices stack up.
Yeah, you want to get it, especially if you're listening to this now. Like get a job now in the summer and save your all your money for college.
Mm-hmm.
And then like if you have time, like I would suggest getting a part-time job during college. That could be anything, but if you can get it in your field and you can get in your field, you can get like research positions that will pay.
Yeah.
Um, like I worked part-time as like a cashier, and it was like the money that I needed to be able to do the stuff that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Other thing too is that like I know since Michigan State's kind of a college campus, a lot of the businesses are like not connected, but kind of are connected to the campus. So like Home Depot was where I work, for instance, and they give me a $1,500 scholarship every year for working at Home Depot, like because I'm a college student as well. So like find if you can find a place to give scholarships because there's scholarships everywhere. You just have to look for it and apply for them.
yeah, that was one of the other mistakes I made is I never did any of that, and I missed out on thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and like it helps a lot.
Yeah, that's a pretty big point of this is save your money. Like you're gonna want all the money after college is over.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, next one was moving on. I guess I mean college can be pretty like it can give you a lot of anxiety. Like it's pretty stressful sometimes, and like everyone does bad on a test in college, like for the most part. And everyone does bad on something. Like something is always going to go wrong in college. Like it's going to happen, and like you need to find a way to be calm under pressure and like moving on from the bad situations and stuff and control only what you can control in college.
Yeah, I'd say that's like we can. There's a couple of different aspects of that, but grades, like you were talking about earlier, like, and I don't probably same with you in high school. Like we both got good grades. We both got like no lower than a C, maybe once. Like I
Yeah.
had mostly A's and B's.
Hmm.
And then in college, my freshman semester, my first grade, I was taking a calculus course and I got a two in the class, a 2.0, which to me is like the end of the world. But to most people, it's average, which it is average. Um, but that being said, like it's not that big of a deal. You've got plenty of other courses and classes to make up for that, get a higher GPA. And I guess it kind of depends on your major if your GPA really matters. But um, and then I say moving on, like mistake wise, for like I don't know,
For for what?
like hanging out with people or doing certain things. Is that kind of what you're aiming at for like moving on as well?
Yeah, that could be another one. Like for guys especially, like if you're gonna hang out, like try to hang out with a girl or try to ask out a girl, like chances are they're gonna say like someone's gonna say no. Like probably gonna say no. Like you have to
Trust.
get over that.
Yes, like you've been dating your girlfriend for a while, but
Yeah.
me, I've struck out a good amount of times, and I'm still here standing.
Yeah.
It hurts for about a couple days, or as long as you want it to hurt, then you just move on, and then there's 3.5 billion other girls on this earth for me.
Right.
So like you just gotta look at it that way. Like there's like unless you find the one, there's always someone else, or there's something else.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I would. Yeah. My advice is to keep shooting. I mean, like, don't just stop. You know what I mean?
But don't be
Like,
persistent on the same girl too. Don't be that guy um,
yeah.
or
Move
that
on.
girl.
That's yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would still try to talk to as many people as possible.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right.
Okay, so the next one is go to your sporting events. That's like been my top experiences here so far at Michigan State. Like thankfully, like we have a good basketball program. Unfortunately, football hasn't been too good, but football games are fun to go to as well. Um, and it's a good way to like kind of be a part of your school because like a lot of things you do in college really isn't like you're on your own for classes for the most part. Like going out and partying isn't part of your college, but like when you're there cheering and singing the fight song all together with like 10,000 other fans, 15,000 other fans, like it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. I mean, Wisconsin had a bad basketball team, but a good football team, so the football games were always like really cool to go to. Um,
Yeah.
and I would say like go to your tailgates too.
Oh
The tailgates are awesome.
yeah. Hmm.
Um, I love the tailgates so much that sometimes I like wouldn't even go to the game. I'd rather just stay at the tailgate. Like it's a good time.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if you don't go to a big school though, um, I would still suggest going to your sporting events.
Yeah, it's something else to do and another way to meet people and
Yeah,
entertain yourself because you don't want to be sitting in your room all day doing nothing. Like you want to be out and because colleges people are is like the last chance you get before you're an adult and like
yeah,
you're going to be working a full-time job, you're not going to be having time to be able to hang out with friends, go to sporting events as much. um, so take advantage of college. It's
yeah. It's
best, it
fun.
should be the best 4 years of your life.
I always had trouble waking up at 7 for class, but I never had trouble waking up at 7 to go to the tailgate. So
Nice.
it's always a great time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next one. Um, okay, I guess this is a pretty short one, the high school one.
Yeah.
Um, you'll realize when you get out of high school that high school like never really mattered, and that all the cliques and all like the cool people in high school, like it all dissolves when you get to college. You'll find your group of friends, and you'll find like there are no cool people in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like everyone's different, and like all that stuff goes away.
Yeah,
So
all that matters in college is that like you're having fun and you're happy. Because in
yeah,
high school, it's all about oh, like they're the popular kids and like, oh, that kid doesn't get invited to parties. But in college, like there's opportunities for everybody, and like you said earlier, there's someone for everybody as well.
yeah,
So like you're not confined to the same like. For me, it was the same 90 people every single day. Like I'm confined to 50,000 kids now.
yeah, exactly. There's so many kids, like, and I also used to think like Greek life, like fraternities and sororities were like like the cool thing to do, and then I found out that like only 5% of kids at Madison are in Greek life. Like there's so many people there.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there's plenty
but
of things to do in college, plenty of ways to have fun, and you don't have to do it the normal way if you don't want to.
yep,
Like, there's no pressure, and like, if you don't like to drink, don't drink. If you don't like to smoke, don't smoke. If you don't like to do drugs, don't do drugs. Find people that like to do the same things as you because there is someone that likes to do the same things as you.
yeah, exactly. All right. Next one was sleeping.
Yes,
This is a huge one.
huge, which we were both pretty terrible at right now, but that's because of the quarantine.
Yeah,
But in college, is get your 7 hours of sleep a day.
it's crucial.
It is crucial, and that goes along with taking early morning classes. No matter what you do, you're gonna have a hard time falling asleep before 12 o'clock, unless you're doing like you're taking NyQuil every night or something.
Yeah,
Um,
which like we wouldn't recommend. Don't like get hooked on something to help you fall asleep.
yeah,
Like
because
that's terrible.
yeah,
And
it's hard to break that habit too.
yeah, and if you do have an early morning class, like try to go to bed so that you get your 7 8 hours. Like
Mm.
it's gonna make all the difference in college.
Yeah, because sleep helps with a bunch of stuff like mental health, physical health, like being able to remember things in college or in your classes. I mean, and then like who doesn't love a good night's sleep too? Like you feel
Yeah.
good. Um, and like they talk about how like important sleep is. Like I was talking about the mental and physical
Mm,
aspect of sleep. Like that shit's real. Like I work with Division 1 athletes like almost every day, and like I
yeah.
see firsthand like they're like the grinding from 8 a.m. because they have 8 a.m. classes, 8 to 1 o'clock, and then they've got practice from 3 to 7, and then they've got tutoring sessions from 8 to 9 or 8 to 10,
Hmm.
and then right there like they don't have time to do anything else, so they need that sleep.
Yeah. Sleeping is when your body grows. So like if you like for example, if you're lifting weights, like you don't your muscles aren't growing when you're lifting weights. Your muscles are growing when you're sleeping.
Yeah, they gotta
And
heal.
that's the same thing like with studying. Like your memories are forming when you're sleeping. So if you're only sleeping like 3 or 4 hours a night, like your chances are you're probably not going to do that well on the test.
Mm,
So and that goes with like the cramming thing, the studying. So if you study throughout the entire semester, then you will be able to go to sleep early before the test. But if you wait until the last night, then you're going to be up all night and it's going to go terrible. Cramming never goes well.
it's true, unfortunately.
If you don't know it by midnight, then you don't know it. That's one of the rules I learned. It was, just go to bed. You're
It's
better.
better to have a good night's sleep and then be able to like understand what you're reading at least and take an educated guess than being sleep deprived and like having to read the same question like 3 or 4 times just to be able to understand it because you're so tired.
And trying to memorize what you were cramming before, but it never works.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I, I I got a lot of sleep. I didn't get a lot of sleep my freshman year, but I got a lot of sleep my sophomore year
Mm,
because I would force to go to bed, and I would have like a reminder to go to bed at 11 or 12 so that I could wake up at 8.
yeah, because I don't know about you too. So I'll go to bed like my time to go to bed is 12 o'clock every night, no matter if I have well if I'm not going out or anything like that. But
Mm.
like if it's a school night and I got to do stuff the next day, like 12 o'clock's the perfect time because I sit there. When I get in bed, I plug in my phone and I'm sitting on my phone for like 30 minutes to an hour, and then by that time I'm falling asleep, and then I wake up at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. But that's still my 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Um, Also, I try and avoid staying off your phone at night because the blue light. I'm acting like a parent right now. The blue light, like it kills your eyes and like
No,
it makes
it's
it hard to
true.
fall asleep.
It's true. Yeah, I think sleeping is like one of the biggest parts of it. Honestly, like
Hmm.
it's gonna keep you happy. Honestly, like it's just gonna be if you're not getting any sleep, you're gonna be miserable.
Yeah, especially because like if you sleep at night at normal hours, then you don't have to take naps during the day, and then that's less time that you're missing out doing other things. Because if
Yeah,
you're too tired to go, I don't know, go go play rec with your friends or go out the next night. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah, my routine, my second semester was to go to bed, wake up at 7 or 8 a.m. and go work out. And then I already got the sleeping and the exercising part out of the way, and I can do whatever I want. I can get my work done, and then I can hang out with my friends.
That's smart, yeah.
So, I mean, you just need to prioritize your time so that you can go to bed early.
Yeah.
Um, I think we have one more thing. Keeping in touch with your friends.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. I mean, that's a prime example is me and Lou right
Right
now.
here. We don't even go to the same school. And
Yeah, like we haven't gone to the same school since sophomore year. It's been 4 years, sophomore year of high school. So, and we're still super, super close. Like, I don't think I'd do this with any of my other friends.
yeah,
So,
I haven't seen you since last summer,
yeah,
right? So
we talk almost every single day,
yeah, we
like
keep in touch.
for Fortnite.
Um, yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. That we got a lot done there.
Yeah,
I can't really think of anything else. A lot of stuff you'll figure out though. You just have to experience it.
yeah. That's a
So
definitely don't limit yourself because like you never know what you're gonna like in college. And like at home, like for me, like I wasn't able to go out or like do a bunch of stuff until I got to college, and then that some people turn out to be like go crazy. But like that, I found out early that wasn't really me either. Like I found out that like I love basketball and like I love sports, so like I joined an athletic program that I could be around sports, and I made friends that like athletics and like to hang out or go out as well. Like I said, there's someone for everybody. And then also like just being able to keep in touch with your friends back home and like hear about how much fun they're having or be able to go visit their colleges. Cause I, one of us, like, we got to go visit each other sometime soon in college.
eventually we have to.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
definitely want to try and go to Madison sometime soon because that sounds fun as hell.
Yeah.
But like those kind of experiences are just things second to none. Like I've experienced, like I went to Tennessee and visited our friend Ethan, and that was a fun weekend.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess my closing statement is when you get to college, just realize that everyone else is just as scared as you are and nervous,
Mm,
and leave your door open and make friends.
yeah.
That's and sleep. Those are the three big ones for me.
Sleep is what you need.
Yeah.
Also, buy a pair of headphones before you go to college too. Because you're gonna be walking to classes like 15, 20 minutes and you're gonna be like you're gonna be on your own a lot. Um,
Yeah.
but try and contradict that as much as possible. But at the same time, like music is a great way to pass the time.
But college is fun. Overall, it's really fun.
Yeah. Don't be scared. Be assertive
Be
and
excited.
be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Be authentic.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I mean, that about wraps it up for this week's segment of Hanging with Leo and Mark. Do we have any ideas what we want to do next week?
Um.
Let's look at the list.
Yeah.
We got actually leave a comment in the down below and tell us what you want to hear. But
If
some of the
any,
what are you saying?
yeah, we want some ideas. We want to see if anyone's actually watching this. So,
Or if it's just us with all of our views.
yeah. But keep in mind that the first 100 subscribers, like one or two of you is gonna win a gift card.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good chance. You know, it could be you.
It could be you. But some of our ideas are sports, music, hobbies, um, movies, TV shows, reaction videos, food, controversial topics. I think it'd be cool to do something like the we could talk about sports, I guess, because I know things are about to open back up the beginning of June.
Yeah, the NBA is gonna. I think they're gonna do their playoffs or something.
Yeah.
I was reading some notifications there. I didn't really read fully what was going on.
Mm.
I think they might be doing the top 16 teams instead of East West. I heard some different type of stuff, so we'll see. We can talk about that.
Yeah. And then we can also talk about like our favorite athletes and sports
Yeah.
teams and stuff like that. It'll be kind of about us, but if there's anything you want us to put in there, just let us know and we'll talk about
Yeah.
it. Because we're doing this for you guys.
Yeah.
Like we already know this about each other. So, all right, that's it.
All right. Yep. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.